Hey guys, Corporate Hiker Guy here with you. Today I've got 5 tips for older hikers. So if you're in your 50s or 60s or even 70s or 80s and you want to improve your hiking or backpacking, this video is for you. So let's dive in. Tip number 1 is embrace and enjoy this stage of life. Okay, so we're no longer 25 years old. We can't pop up off the couch and go hiking for 12 hours and not feel it the next day. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy hiking later in life. In fact, I would make the case that there's actually some advantages to hiking later in life. Probably a little bit further along in our career, we've got more vacation time, we don't have small kids running around the house, so it's just easier for us to get away for adventures. So I want to encourage you to embrace this stage of life, not let age prevent you from getting out on the trail. There are so many documented health benefits to being on the trail. It's called the outdoor effect. You can check that out online. So I'm 54 years old, and my last adventure was a 5-day backpacking trip in Yosemite. So I went with my son and my hiking buddy, and we just had a great time. The scenery was spectacular. But in addition to that, when I was on the trail, I just felt an overall sense of health and well-being, clarity of mind, was able to refresh and renew my mind. And I think those mental health benefits are especially helpful with older hikers. So you may have some nagging aches and pains, but you may find that being out on the trail actually helps with those. Now, obviously you need to hike within your own limitations. You know, make sure you're good, your doctor's good with you hiking. But beyond that, I just want to encourage you to lace up your hiking shoes. Go for it. You will be so glad that you did. Now, tip number 2. Tip number 2 is train for your hike. So the good news is it really doesn't take that much training to get you ready for a hike. So there's 3 types of training I do. I start about 6 to 8 weeks before my hike. The first type of training is cardio. So for cardio, I put my socks and shoes on, the ones I'm going to wear on the trail, and I walk around the block for 15 or 20 minutes. I get my heart rate up. When I get home from walking around the block, I go up and down my stairs 10 times. And so that motion of going up the stairs and then down the stairs, which works different muscle groups, that mimics very well the movement you're going to have on the trail. So if you'll do that just 3 or 4 times a week, that'll get you ready for the trail. So the second type of training I do to get ready for a hike is stretching. I think stretching is very important, and the right stretching routine can really get you ready for the trail. I've got a 15-minute routine that I do every weekday, so 5 days a week. There's a lot of great stretching routines online, so I'm not going to go through my exact stretches I do, but there is one particular stretch that I think will really help you, especially for older hikers. So let's check that out now. So this stretch is the leg lift. Very simple, but if you'll do this 6 to 8 weeks before your hike, it'll really help you. Just take your leg and go up, back down, up. You do 10 of those, and then the last 5 go out to the side. So 10 and then another 5 out to the side. Do 15 on the left, 15 on the right. And as you build up your endurance, you can do another set of 15 and 15, so 2 sets. And what that'll do, that'll build up these hip flexors right here, and those tend to get really sore with older hikers. So a third type of training I do is strength training. So I know you're thinking, oh boy, here it comes. He's going to talk about going into the gym for 2 hours and pumping iron and veins popping out everywhere. That's not the type of strength training we need for hiking. So what I do is a dumbbell routine. I do it 40 minutes, 2 times a week. I just went online and searched dumbbell routine for men over 50, and that's what I do. It works very well. I make sure that I work these trapezoids. Because the backpacking straps come along here, that along with you looking down a lot during the day, sometimes at the end of the day, boy, these traps will be very sore. So if you'll work that into your routine of strengthening these traps, that'll really help you on the trail. So with that, let's go to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is get your pack weight down. So for backpacking, you want your base pack weight to be between 15 and 18 pounds. Your base weight is the weight of your pack plus everything in your pack, but it does not include your food and water. If you get up over 18 pounds and then you add in food and water, it's just going to be too heavy for the trail. So the best way to get your base pack weight down is to focus first on what they call the big three. That's your backpack, your tent, and your sleeping bag. So this backpack is a Z-Packs Arc Blast 55 backpack, which I really like. It weighs in at 20 ounces. For my tent, I've been using the Z-Packs Duplex tent, which is an amazing 21 ounces, which is just crazy for a tent. And I use my trekking poles as tent poles. And then for my sleeping bag, I use the REI Magma 15 bag, which weighs in about 28 ounces. So you can see over time, I've worked to get the weight of those three items down, and then I just build on that. Now, hey, I know the price of some of these backpacking items, it's amazing how expensive they are. But what I did is I would just save up over time, buy a piece of gear, save up again, buy another piece, and then, you know, birthday and Christmas gifts. And over time, I was able to build out a really nice set of ultralight gear. In fact, I keep my gear list in Excel with each item and the weight of that item so I can sum them up. And I'll provide a link and give you access to that list. So, hey, you know, a light pack, a heavy pack, it really is the difference between coming into camp at the end of the day with a smile on your face or a frown. So now let's go to tip 4. Tip number 4 is choosing the right footwear. You want to be 100% confident in your footwear before you hit the trail. And the best way to do that is just to wear them. Make sure they're well broken in before you get to your hike. So footwear is 3 things: the sock, the shoe, and the insert. So for the sock, any good smart wool sock, I prefer the lightweight, will work well for you on the trail. For the shoe, there's lots of choices, anywhere from a lightweight trail runner all the way up to the heavy leather boots. Now, for older hikers, I would recommend you stay away from the really lightweight trail runners. I used one of those one time on the trail, and it just felt like my foot was moving inside the shoe with the mesh top. It didn't have the kind of support I needed. I kind of land in the middle with my shoe. Right now, I'm hiking with this Loa. I think this is a really nice blend between lightweight and enough support to help you on the trail. So I've used all kinds of shoes like Merrell's and Solomon's, and they've all been good. But right now, I really like this Loa. For the insert, it's funny. You'll spend $150 on a pair of shoes, pull out the insert, and it'll just be this little thin, flimsy insole. So in the past, I've just gone online and bought gel insoles, and those have worked pretty well for me. But right now, I'm using a custom insert. So I went online, ordered this. The company sent me 2 small boxes with foam in it, stepped on the foam, sent it back to them, and they made me this custom insert just for my foot. So if you're willing to make that kind of investment, I mean, I've used this same one for about 3 or 4 years. So if you're willing to make that kind of investment, I highly recommend it. Now, tip number 5. Tip number 5 is find the right hiking partner. Hey, this last tip may be the most obvious, but could be the most challenging for some people. So, and that's to find the right hiking partner or the right group of people to hike with. So if your spouse hikes or your friend or family, that's fantastic. I mean, there's nothing better than spending time on the trail with the people you care about and sharing those experiences and building out those memories. It's just fantastic. But some people may say, my friends don't hike, or my family, they don't hike. So in that case, there's 2 great online resources you can use. The first is Facebook, and the second is Meetup. And so I would encourage you to use those tools to find other hikers in your community. And hey, I know it may be a little awkward at first to use those tools, but I think if you'll do that, it's a great way to find other hikers. You can maybe do a short day hike, see if you guys fit. And if they do, you can build out a nice hiking group in your area that you could then go take some great backpacking adventures, for example. So, hey, I hope you found these tips useful. I sure did enjoy bringing them to you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. That helps other people find the video. And hey, I care for you guys out there. I wish you the very best on the trail. Happy hiking, and God bless.